What is up, warrior? Today I'm giving my best food tracking tips. So whether you're totally opposed to tracking food and you're like, maybe I should try this, if you're a newbie just starting to track food, or you're trying to get back into it, you are definitely going to benefit from this. Now, if you are on the totally opposed side, then we definitely had something in common, because I was completely opposed to tracking my food for forever. I fought my husband tooth and nail. I was like, I'm not doing that. That sounds obsessive. Like, it sounds hard. Blah, blah. And I gave every excuse under the sun, moon, and stars. And I will tell you that it took me a lot longer on my health and weight loss journey to reach a certain point, because I had not tracked my food. Because once I gave in, and I was kind of like a stubborn child, and I was like, fine, I'm going to do it and show you that, like, whatever. And I started tracking my food. Really, the results that I wanted, even in my body, my health, my body fat percentage, like, I knew what to tweak and what to do in order to feed myself. And it just made sense. Like, what goes in is what's going to come out. So if you're totally opposed to it, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I'm going to show you a way to make it really easy, that it's going to work for you, because if I can do it, I know you can too. Now, just in case you're new here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Renee Paulson. I'm a recovered food and sugar addict, and also a healthy living and nutrition coach. I struggled with my weight my entire life, and personally lost over 100 pounds while learning how to recover from food and sugar addiction with moderation, and learning how to finally have a healthy relationship with food. Keeping that weight off, now I help women do the exact same thing. Learn how to have a healthy relationship with food, lose weight, and keep it off for good. Now let me talk really quickly about why tracking your food is so important. Especially if you have a health or weight loss goal, this is critical, because what is going in, especially food-wise, is what's going to go out. A lot of times you hear people say, like, think of food as medicine. But also, if you're having symptoms, think of the food that you're putting in. What's going on? Are you tired? Are you lethargic? Are you having stomach bloating issues? All of those things, high blood pressure, all of those things are symptoms of what we're really putting in our body. So knowing what's going in is super critical. Usually when I start coaching clients, I say, start tracking your food. Don't change anything, and let's see what the first 3 days looks like, just to get a general idea. What I find for the most part is we eat more fat than we're supposed to, which of course that's to be expected. Our bodies really want that. So that's what's really easy and tastes good to eat. And also for ladies, we're super afraid of carbs. So really cutting back those carbs, which might be why we are all so tired. And also for the ladies, not getting enough protein. But if you don't track your food, you don't know what you're eating, and you don't know if it's balanced or anything like that. So really it's kind of like guessing and taking a shot in the dark, which will work, but will take a lot longer and be more frustrating. So tracking your food gets you to the fast track of knowing what food looks like, how to have a balanced meal, and what the appropriate amount of food for you is. There are a bunch of food tracking apps out there. I know there's My Macros, MyFitnessPal, there's Weight Watchers, there's all these things. However, if you've ever watched a video from me before, you know that the food tracking app that I recommend, the one that I use every day and the one that I use for my clients, is called Cronometer. And I will put a link in the show notes. They do have a free version that works perfectly fine. They also do have a paid version that obviously has more features. And if you use that link, you're going to save 10%. But by far the best food tracking app, because not only does it track your calories, which, ladies, we've been programmed over and over, like, calories, we got to look at our calories. That's just one little tiny piece of the picture. Then it goes further, and it also tracks your macros, meaning your protein, carbs, and fat. Then it also tracks your micronutrients, like your vitamins and your minerals. So you can actually see if you're vitamin deficient, which for the most part we all are, so you should be taking a multivitamin. But instead of me telling you that, you could go in and track your food. You could use the scanny thingy for all your stuff. That's what I call it, the scanny thingy, and that's what I use. And go in and track your food and see where you're at. See if you are hitting your vitamins, if you're hitting your minerals, if you're hitting your protein, carbs, and fat. It's really eye-opening once you start to track your food, to kind of look at it and be like, oh, this might be why I'm having some problems. Or, oh, I'm doing really good in this area. So I really challenge you to go on Cronometer and just track for a day or two and just see where you're at. I really enjoy it. Highly, highly recommend Cronometer, especially when you're looking at recovering from food and sugar addiction. because when you start to track food, you can actually look at the food for its nutritional value, see the vitamins, see the minerals, see everything in it, and get that kind of better picture versus someone telling you that a food is bad for you. You can kind of see it in black and white for yourself. People have asked me if I track my food every day, and I don't. I actually stick to the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I track my food, and 20% of the time it's kind of like, I'm not going to track that, or I'm going to track half of the day. Usually those happen on the weekends for like a treat meal, as I don't track my treat meals. But if I did have a specific health goal, like trying to lower my cholesterol or trying to lower my blood pressure or trying to lower my blood sugar, I definitely would track those treat meals just so I could get that clear snapshot. Again, you're not looking at it by the day. Usually I like to take the whole week and really look at the week as an entirety and see, where I'm over on fat if I am, or where I need to just balance everything out. But yeah, I stick to the 80-20 rule. Don't feel like it has to be obsessive and that it's an all or nothing. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing, but really getting into that habit of trying to track regularly in the beginning is going to help you versus hurt you. My number one food tracking tip, and this is a total game changer, is to track your food before you eat it. Now, I know what you might be thinking, like, how do I do this? Well, what I do is usually that morning I decide, okay, well, this is what we're going to have for dinner. So then I will track all of my food in the morning before I eat. I also practice intermittent fasting, so I have the luxury of doing that. But if not, you can always do it the night before and track everything for the day. Now, this ensures that you're going to get, and hit all of your macro targets that you need to, that you're going to get all the nutrients that you need, that there's no surprises, that it makes a plan. And if you've ever worked with me, you know I'm a stickler for this because it works. Like, it works so well to track your food ahead of time because, again, it takes that guessing work out of it. It takes the thinking out of what you're going to eat. So especially helpful if you're trying to recover from food or sugar addiction, or you are practicing intermittent fasting, because again, it takes that guessing work out of what you're going to eat. I know in the morning, like I'm going to, here's what I'm going to have and here's the time I'm going to have it. So, bada bing, bada boom. I don't even think about it, because the more thinking a food and sugar addict has to do about food, the more scheming is going to go on. Now, this is a feature with Chronometer that I found extremely helpful, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if it's a feature with any other food tracking apps. If you know of any, then you can put them in the comments and let me know. But with Chronometer, you can actually import a recipe. So sometimes we find these recipes and we're like, oh, I don't want to put in all of these ingredients and try and figure out how to track each individual thing, and how am I going to even figure that out? And screw it, I'm just not going to track this. But in Chronometer, you can actually import a recipe from a web page, meaning like you copy the URL and you just import it, and it grabs all of the ingredients and all of the amounts and everything, and it calculates it. You can either calculate it through serving-based or weight-based, and bada bing, bada boom, it calculates all of the macros, micros, and the calories and everything for you. So then you put it, your recipe name on it. When you go to track in Chronometer, you can put like, whatever it is, like cheese enchiladas or something like that, and it's your recipe that'll come up, and you just put, well, I'm having this much of this recipe, and it calculates everything for you. Once you get a good couple recipes going and you do this on a regular basis, then literally when you go in Chronometer, you can just go and copy an entire day of eating and just put it to your day. So when I'm doing this, like an example would be, we've had chili often, especially going from the winter, but now we're into summer, so chili's going on the shelf a little bit, I think. But I usually break my fast every morning with my big everyday protein shake, have a few little snacks throughout the day, and then I have chili, and then I've already got the amounts and everything tracked, so I can just go back to that day and copy it to today, and I don't have to balance everything. Everything's already done for me. Food tracking can sound really overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that hard, and it's the best way to get a clear picture of what's going in versus what's coming out, especially if you have any health or weight loss goals. All right, now I know that you are an amazing warrior and you belong in the warrior tribe, which is the tribe full of amazing warrior women just like you, ready to take back control of their health and their weight for good. So if this resonated with you, and we're becoming besties like I think we are, head over to reneepaulson.com, join the warrior tribe. We're going to be best friends, and I can't wait to see you there. So I hope you have a fabulous day. I love you bunches, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.